Over the next 7 days, we will be on an epic overlanding adventure through Costa Rica. Traveling from lush rainforests to stunning beaches, we'll be showing you what it's like to experience Costa Rica in this unique way, including what campgrounds we stay at, the road conditions in between, and all the tips and tricks that we pick up along the way. We're going to be taking our blue Smurf all over Costa Rica, so come along and we'll show you what it's like to camp in Costa Rica. We began our trip flying overnight from Atlanta to San Jose, where we met up with our friends Kate and Derek, who are also joining us on this adventure. Together, we were picked up and whisked away to Nomad America. We were introduced to our vehicles. This is our Suzuki Jimmy, also known as the Blue Smurf, a small but mighty two-door car that we'll be calling home for the next 7 days.
The Smurf comes packed with everything you'll need for a super comfortable camping trip, so you don't have to worry about packing any extra gear. It's all tucked away conveniently in the big black box, which we'll take a deeper dive into later in the video. Our instructor Diego then showed us how to unfold the tent, set up the canopy, and use the onboard shower.
Alright, so we just picked up our car from Nomad America. Diego, great job explaining everything. It was super informative and told us all kinds of stuff. We've actually restructured our itinerary based on his suggestions. The first thing we're doing right now is we're driving from Nomad America to La Fortuna, where campsite number 1 is tonight. So we're staying at the Volcan Ecological Park. I mean, this is the first time I've ever driven in a foreign country. So far, it's not what I expected. I was expecting potholes and like crazy roads and just this wild experience. I mean, so far, mostly main roads. It's kind of slow a lot of the time, so probably add about 15 minutes to every hour that you think it's going to take you. Our trip is going to take us up right at 3.5 hours to get to La Fortuna from San Jose. We continued on our way, traveling from San Jose to La Fortuna, which ended up taking us about 4 hours and 25 minutes. We also stopped for groceries, so you can include about 30 to 45 minutes in that as well. As we pulled in to get settled in for the night, we were really excited to see that this is like a standard campground. I mean, there was like activities and bathroom facilities, all behind a locked gate and the watchful eye of Mount Arenal, which is the volcano here in the background. It was definitely an awesome spot to start off our trip, especially just not knowing what we're actually going to get ourselves into. And this was a great way to transition into the camping lifestyle we will be becoming accustomed to over the next 7 days. All right, so we got here to the Volcan Ecological Park. Aaron's set us up over here. Wave at the camera, Aaron. And we'll give you a little tour of the campsite. So, and Derek over here, and their car.
Setting up camp under Costa Rica's most active volcano was a mind-blowing experience. Get it? But to give you a quick runaround of the camp, we have a stunning lagoon where you can rent kayaks, fishing poles, or jump on the water trampoline. The campground comes with 3 showers and 3 bathrooms. Just know the water was Arctic whenever we used it. I'm sure it's nice on a hot day, but whenever it's 50 degrees, oh no.
Also during the day, there was a snack stand, which unfortunately wasn't open for the locals, but I think they still knew what they were looking for. These little guys are called coatis, and they're basically just long-nosed raccoons. This whole area, due to the volcano and the lush nature, is just full of animals. After meeting some of the local residents, Derek cut us up some pineapple for dinner, and then we headed off to bed because we had another big day tomorrow.
Good morning. This morning we were woken up by a pack of boars at like 5:30. Which is really, really cool. But it's all fine because we have to get up early anyway because we are going to the hot springs this morning.
Like Aaron said, we were off to the hot springs, so we made quick work putting up camp that morning. The free hot springs are pretty popular in the area, so it's really important to get there early. We actually woke up about 5:30 to get started so we could head that way and make sure we get a spot. Having free hot springs just about 800 meters away from camp is definitely a perk to sleeping under the volcano.
There are plenty of resorts around La Fortuna where you can pay to experience the natural hot springs, but today we wanted to show you a hidden gem. This is the free hot springs of El Choyan. Tucked away in plain sight if you know where to look, these waters are heated by the Arenal volcano. We felt super lucky because we were one of about 4 people there, but the longer we stayed, the more people started showing up. So if you're planning to add this to your itinerary, just keep that in mind.
All right, so this morning we went to the hot springs, and you'll see in the video, like, we got there at 7, maybe 7:05, and there was a ton of people there. So if you're gonna go, definitely want to get there early. It's awesome though. It's not what you think. It's not like a hot pool somewhere that somebody's heating up. It's the river. It's a hot river. So we spent a little bit of time there. We'll show you what the parking lot looks like as we're leaving. Now we are gonna go to Monteverde. There's 2 ways we can get there from La Fortuna area, one of which is around the river, which takes about 3.5 hours per Google, so probably like 4.5. Or there's a shortcut that goes on the backside of the Mount Arenal volcano, we're gonna try that. It does involve a river crossing and it rained last night, so we're gonna go try our luck there. We will catch you when we get there to see how this is gonna work. Our drive around the backside of the mountain was mainly gravel roads similar to this, but it also provided us with some stunning views of Mount Arenal, especially after the fog cleared out from that morning. But after about 45 minutes, we saw the river. Diego informed us that anytime you cross a river, you should get out and walk it, which we did, and then was immediately passed by a local, so we just assumed everything was all good. We walked back and hopped into our cars and then rolled the dice. We sent Kate and Derek first in case they got stuck we could continue on with the video, and then we took off on our own. The river must have been pretty low because it was fairly smooth sailing, but towards the end there was a big hole you had to watch out for, which added enough excitement for me. It was a crazy experience. I've never done anything like that before. It was awesome. I'm glad it wasn't that high, so we were able to do it. It's just awesome.
It got a little high at the end.
Yeah.
I think it went below our front license plate went under. Our tires were all the way under, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, no big deal. Again, we've never done this before, zero experience, so it was pretty darn easy. But it looks super cool.
Now we're driving this gravel road to Monteverde.
Yep.
And it's a little hairy in some spots, but
That's what I expected. So yesterday you saw we were easy peasy, like highways all the way to town. Speed limit's like 30 miles an hour, so that's why it kind of took longer than we thought, but this is kind of what I was expecting the whole trip to be like. So excited to get to do this, but I think this is the only section that is actually going to be the case, which is also fun. So it's good to experience it, but I'm glad we're not doing this for 7 days because this is going to take a beating on you.
a little bit like a washboard for 7 days.
But I think we've got about an hour to an hour and a half into Monteverde. We will see you next at Campground Campsite, which is, I believe it's supposed to overlook Monteverde. It's one of the ones, another one recommended by Diego and the Nomad America team. So excited to see this one, and we will catch up with you there. So we've arrived here at Campground Campsite. It looks quite windy. It looks like there's spots for about 8 or so campers. And yeah, I mean, it's just got these incredible views, like overlooking the valley that we just spent hours, it feels like, driving up. But it seems like it's a good spot for the night, and we'll make some dinner and then probably hit the hay. So we will catch you tomorrow when we take off to the beachy side of town. So see you then.
This place had the holy grail. It had hot water. We thought we had this camping trip all figured out, but boy, were we so wrong.
The entire car is like shaking. I don't know if we can capture this on video. We just have a little light.
We're on top of a mountain, and so the wind is just creating like a perfect path over the top of the ridge, and I don't think we're gonna sleep very much tonight.
Good morning. Just had probably what was the worst night of sleep in my entire life. We were packing up camp real fast. Like every time you thought you'd go to sleep last night, it would just be like, boom, like a wall. And like, we're gonna try to look for a new place tonight. I hope we'll be able to find one because we're all quite tired. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning right now. I mean, this place is beautiful, but God, it's windy. After we go, we're going to go into Monteverde and Santa Elena and explore the town a little bit. You should be able to see that video next week. We've got a couple of exciting things to do, and then we're going to look for a different campground because our original plan was to stay here again tonight and then head towards the beach, but I don't know if we can muster another night here. As we made our way into town, Kate and Derek seemed to come across a campsite, so we headed straight there before starting our day just to make sure we had a spot for the night.
so we have found a new camp spot. It's called Camping Verde. Last night, like Will told you, the wind was just, that campsite was beautiful, but the wind was literally just next level insane. So we found this great place called Camping Verde, and we pulled up and he gave us a great deal. Only the two of us, like the four of us, the 2 cars, get to stay here tonight, so we get this whole place to ourselves. It's on a cute little river. He lives out of the school bus up there, and then there's even hot water in the shower, like hot water. I feel like we are so lucky. There's a brewery across the street, so we're gonna celebrate Derek's birthday in full spirit. But yeah.
After confirming our camp spot for the night, we headed into Monteverde and Santa Elena, and we had a really big day. But again, we're going to make a separate video on that, so hit that bell notification to get notified whenever we drop that video. Good morning. Last night was just exactly what we needed. We found this guy, or Derek found this guy on Overlander 2, Charlie. He's been a fantastic host. It was quiet here for the most part. Try to find the link. So if you wanted to come stay here, as far as we could tell, there's not a number or anything. We just showed up. And like I said, there's only room for 2 cars here, or he only lets 2 cars come here. He's got us in a spot where we have water, we have a shower, hot shower as well. Place to wash dishes. Yeah, I mean, if you want to camp here, this is definitely a spot if you're visiting Monteverde. Compared to last night, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. Hingrong was great, it was beautiful, but the wind was brutal. Here it's all protected. You can kind of hear the wind off in the distance, but it's not anywhere close at all. We all got at least 9 hours of sleep last night. Made a little bit of coffee this morning. We're gonna head towards the coast. We're gonna pack up and then we will catch you on the road to let you see some, I believe this is the day that we have the exciting drive, an animal excitement. We will catch you on the road and let you know what the conditions are like from here to the coast. We then made our way down from Monteverde, driving these pretty simple switchback 2-lane roads.
So there are 3 things I was looking forward to most on this trip. The first one was the hot springs, the second one was the sloths, and the third one is where we are going right now. So the first one is river, the second one's animals, and if you put that together, that's kind of where we're headed next.
As we made our way into Tarcoles, we stumbled across a bridge which had a whole bunch of people looking off the side of it. Tell them where you are.
We are at the Crocodile Bridge right now in Costa Rica. Crikey, look at the size of those crocs. Oh my God, look at it. Those things are massive.
See it?
Bro, I was not expecting it to be that big.
So we are at the Crocodile Bridge right now. There's one under the bridge that I swear is 16 feet long. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen before in my life. It's actually a dinosaur.
After we got our crocodile fill, we headed on down the coast to Quepos, where we would be enjoying some camping by the beach.
Welcome to Quepos.
All right, so we just got here into Quepos. We were lucky enough to find, I guess this is kind of like beachfront parking right next to Manuel Antonio Park. We should be able to just walk right into the park in the morning because we have a tour tomorrow morning. But today we're spending the day at the beach. We can literally walk to, like I said, walk to Manuel Antonio National Park. We have these like awesome rock islands or something like off in the distance. But first, before we start our beach day, we are going to show you how to set up the Blue Smurf. Aaron's really excited about this. I think we've mastered it. This is our 4th day camping. I think we've got it down that we can show you good enough how to set it up. So come along with us. We're going to show you what we've been working with the past 4 or 5 days.
All right, we're gonna time ourselves and see how fast we can get this set up. Ready? 3, 2, I was 2 fingers.
Done.
Okay, now we're gonna show you the inside of our hotel on wheels. Come on. Okay, so inside we have got 2 pillows, 2 of these fleece sleeves, which we will not be using because it is hot. Very, very hot here. There's little storage panels on the side that you can tuck your phone and other stuff into. Then we've got mesh on this side, this side, this side, and this side for 360-degree views. And now I'll give you off to Will so he can show you everything that we have under the car, actually inside.
All right, so going around the car, we'll start from the outside. Under our tent here, or on the side, we have container. So this is all of our shower water or dishwashers. So when you pull this open, and then I think it's about 20 gallons is what they told us, and that thing runs the whole length of the car. Next up, on our driver's side of the car, we have this fancy little gadget, which is our awning. So we can extend this out, and then that's kind of our cover if it rains or things are falling. There's always some birds in the trees and stuff, so it keeps us covered and it's a good place to cook and stand under. So one thing that they have in their car that we didn't bring in ours, just since we're coming together, that we would have in ours if we went by ourselves, is the big yellow box. The big yellow box has all of our camping equipment in it. So like our stoves, our cooking utensils, our plates, dinnerware, all of that stuff. So the campground that we're staying here in Quepos, right next to Manuel Antonio, like you can see it from the beach, which is 100 feet in front of us. This is a fantastic spot. This beach is technically called Espadillo Beach, I believe, which I don't know if you can see, but it's right there. It's just so close. You can see Manuel Antonio. The beach is just pretty. The waves aren't rough. The water is just clear, like super clear. We then spent the next few hours on the beach. It was definitely nice to sit back and relax from all of our adventures so far. And being so close to the national park, we even got some visitors while we were sitting around relaxing, which was really fun to see. But later that afternoon, we made our way into town to see a couple of the bars, especially El Avion, which is a bar that has a plane inside of it. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description. Definitely a must-see in my opinion if you're going to be over here in Quepos, Manuel Antonio area. Good morning. We had a great night last night, and what I'm starting to realize was I guess a private parking lot here on the beach. We slept super great. It was a good spot if you're looking for a place in Manuel Antonio. I'm not sure exactly if often they let people come. The guy seemed probably confused when we got here. But yeah, I mean, it's like a good little spot. There is a lot of wildlife. Every few hours I kept waking up thinking somebody was around the vehicle, when in fact it was actually just animals scurried around. And this morning about 4:35, you could just hear howler monkeys off in the distance. Just woke us up. I mean, what can you expect? We're right next to the national park, Manuel Antonio National Park. There's obviously going to be a lot of wildlife here. As you saw yesterday, we saw the monkeys and the sloths in the trees and all the birds. But yeah, the next place that we're heading off to is in Priscal. It's supposed to be a wildlife refuge that is also home to some incredible waterfalls. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do. We do have a quick tour at Manuel Antonio National Park this morning. It's just a self-guided thing where we're going to walk through and just see different animals and stuff. And then we're going to head off. We will catch up with you after our tour and show you the route there. It's about 36 miles, but it says it's going to take about 2 hours to get there. So fingers crossed there's no more river crossings. Not sure if I can handle it, but we'll catch up with you in just a little bit. So we're on our way from Manuel Antonio Park to our final campsite of the trip. Just wanted to give you a rundown of the road conditions we're seeing. We are from Huefos and got into Burrita, where we took a right up into the mountains. This has been pothole heaven. It is like
We're just shaking around just a little bit. And it goes, like when it's not being potholy, it'll go from being paved to gravel to paved to gravel. And so you kind of are like going along, and then you have to kind of slam on the brakes so we don't get another pothole.
We still are on from what I can tell, the most paved part of this road. So we'll see if it gets any worse as we trek further into the mountains. But yeah, we will let you know if it gets any worse. If not, then we will catch you at the campsite. We're back. It got worse.
Oh my god!
It got a lot more worse. About 6 miles to go, 6-7 miles to go with this. So we're gonna keep making progress. Alright, so we made it to camp here, and we are at the Refugio de Juco. I am currently up in a treehouse, I'm assuming built by the guy here. It's just filled with air plants, and we're just like high above the clouds. This place is magnificent. This is probably the best campsite we've stayed at so far, at least for now, at least what we could tell. We haven't stayed the night, obviously, but I think it's the best campsite. Hopefully it's the best one. We saved the best for last. Not only is all the amenities here great, I think the only thing they don't have is Wi-Fi, but we're camping for a reason, so it's not that big a deal. But there are, I believe, 2 waterfalls here as well that we're gonna go see here in just a minute. We're gonna park the cars, kind of get situated, and then we're gonna head down to the 2 waterfalls, and we will show you what that looks like here in just a few minutes. But right now I gotta climb down my perch here.
This was a short but steep hike. Fortunately, it hadn't been raining on us on this trip, but unfortunately the waterfalls were not as strong as some pictures we had seen.
All right, so we made it down to the bottom of the trail, which leads you to the twin waterfalls on both sides. How cool is that? It took us about 45 minutes to get down this super steep trail. We just kept thinking it was gonna switch back, and it just is pretty much straight down, but it was all worth it. The water down here is cold, but it's not too cold. It's very refreshing after that really, really steep hike. But yeah, now we're gonna go enjoy.
As we headed back up to camp, Aaron wanted to give you a quick rundown of the bathroom situation here at Refugio de Juco.
So this is hands down the best campsite that we've found yet. Right now, here's 2 sinks right here, and then there's multiple bathrooms and multiple showers. So come and I'll show you. So each bathroom has different paintings in it. Is the showers. And there's 3 of them. The next morning, we woke up to magical, misty views overlooking the valley. As you know, no travel vlog is complete without a coffee montage. So without further ado, here's Will to show you the traditional way Costa Ricans make coffee.
Thanks, Aaron. One of the things we've definitely learned during our time in Costa Rica is that coffee making is an art. And the way that they traditionally brew it is through a chorreador, which is a small wooden stand with a cloth filter, which is filled with fresh coffee grounds and then brewed slowly with hot water. This method gives you a great cup of coffee and a unique experience you can enjoy under any sunrise. This has been an awesome final morning here at the Refugio de Juco. This is just an incredible place to spend our last day on this incredible journey. It's been just a wild ride. Waking up this morning, looking into the valley and seeing the clouds and just watching and drinking some coffee and just having a peaceful morning before we head back to San Jose was just a great final experience. Aaron, do you have any other final thoughts?
Thank you so much for watching and enjoying our wild ride. If you want to see last week's video, please click over here. And if you want to see our newest adventure, please click over here. Thank you.
We will leave all the links to all the campsites that we've done on this trip in case you want to follow our itinerary. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.